नमस्कार, नीता भसीन शो में आपका एक बार फिर स्वागत है। हर किसी के सपने हैं, हर किसी की कहानी है। बस झनकार से ही पहचान लो, इन घुंघरुओं की दास्तां पुरानी है। जी हाँ, हम बात कर रहे हैं डांस की। डांस इज एन आर्ट, डांस इज ए क्राफ्ट, बट एट द सेम टाइम डांस फिजिकल और मेंटल वर्कआउट भी है। चलिए आज हम आपकी मुलाकात बॉलीवुड के वन ऑफ द टॉप कोरियोग्राफर से करवाने जा रहे हैं। ही इज ए मल्टी अवार्ड विनर, ही इज ए मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर एंड चुंबेश्वरी जज ऑफ टीवी डांस रियलिटी शो। जी हाँ, हम बात कर रहे हैं डॉक्टर टेरेंस लुइस की।
कमाल धमाल बेमिसाल I would say this was a कातिलाना चुम्मेश्वरी performance. Come on, come on.
Dr. Terence Lewis, welcome to Neeta Bhasin show. And it's an honor to have you on this show. And you are one of the very few Indian choreographers to break into the international dancing world. And I would like to congratulate you for receiving an honor of the doctorate degree. Can you tell us about this and your journey in this international platform?
So, well, it was last year, and I received a call from the National Institute of Education and Research, which is based in New Delhi. And they have a tie-up with the NAU, which is the National American University based in US. And they have a collaboration where, they offer doctorates to people who have had a large body of work over a period of time. So I finished 21 years last year, and this year 22, of teaching dance for the last 22 years. And they had seen my work and they'd seen my journey. They had seen the body of work that I had done, and they felt that even though an honorary doctorate is for those people who have done enough work and research and developed new things and new models and changed the paradigm of what used to already exist. So it was very, very, I felt very honored receiving that doctorate, and it is one of the achievements that I would really feel that I was taken by surprise, and I felt very, very overwhelmed by that. So I'm known now as Dr. T, even in my new show, India's Best Dance, which is on Sony. But unfortunately, we're not shooting for it because of the lockdown. But when lockdown gets done, we will resume shooting. But coming back, saying that, it's just been such a long journey for me, from being somebody who never thought too much about dance and was just going house to house, teaching dance, and then to, set up my own academy, which initially didn't work. It failed. So I went into fitness and then came to New York, studied at the Albanelli Center for 3 months in the, summer intensive, did courses at BDC, which is like Broadway Dance Center, and then went back and then, received another scholarship. That's the first time I received a scholarship, because previously when I came to New York, I paid for my own bills and for my own money, for my own pocket. But when I came back to India and I started all over again dancing properly, because the first time I actually professionally learned dance was when I was 26, when I went to New York. So when I came back, I started my academy professionally. I felt I knew what dance was all about. It was a very short stint in New York, but it really, really was very empowering. The Terence Lewis before New York and the Terence Lewis after New York were two different people. And then after that, after 3 or 4 years, I got a scholarship to study contemporary dance, thanks to a lady who happened to see my work on stage. And she said that, do you know that this style is contemporary and you're doing a wonderful job? And I was like, I didn't even know about it, because I had studied modern dance in Albanelli. I had studied, video, which is called now hip hop. I had studied all of that. I had not studied contemporary dance at all. But, I was performing on stage, and there was a lady called Catherine Simmons, who was from the German consulate, and she had invited a very top German choreographer who had just flown down that night. And she happened to see my performance, and she said, you need to get a scholarship to to Europe, and you to study contemporary dance. You're young, and I was young until I was 30 by then. And she said, you must go. And that's how I went. I studied contemporary dance for the first time, and it blew my mind away. I came back. I, incorporated what I knew already, my culture, some amount of classical, and, I created certain, amazing stuff that happened. I got lucky, I would say, that, Dance India Dance, after many years, came to me, as me as a judge and a choreographer, and I experimented with that. And initially, the people in the television network and the creative producers were very skeptical. They were, what is this dance form? We've never heard about it. What is this aerial dance? Because I had come with all these new ideas, and I was not from the industry. I was, in comparison to Remo and Geeta, they are from the industry. Their heart and blood is from there. I was always a little bit more distant cousin of the Bollywood industry. So, I was always more into stage and was more into theater. So for me, I was like a fish out of water. When I was in the shoot, I was trying to grapple with it. But fortunately, people appreciated and accepted me the way I was, with my weird hairstyles and my fashion sense. But fortunately, my dancing was on point, and so was the choreography, and people loved it. So I'm very grateful to that. I will always be grateful to people, for how much they accepted me the way I was, and for my work. So yeah, that has been the journey, and it has taken, I always say this, it took me 20 years to be an overnight success. That's how long it took. And I would just say I was happy then, I'm happy now. I was just happy that I chose dance, and I did work hard, but I will not say I would struggle, because struggle is for those people who don't enjoy the journey. I have enjoyed this journey, whether I would reach whatever heights I would or not. I think I was happy, and what I didn't know, I didn't know. And whatever I've reached is graces, and a lot of people, who helped me go forward. So I'm really grateful, because I always genuinely believe that no matter how hard you work and no matter how amazing you are, if people are not there to support you and believe in you and take you forward, and take that leap of faith on you, and put your bets on you, I wouldn't reach where I was. So I'm very grateful for a lot of things, and this has been a beautiful journey. Neeta, you had invited me for the Times Square, a year and a half ago, for Diwali at Times Square. And it was very, one of my, in a way, a dream come true, because many years ago, as I already mentioned to you, I'd come to America when I was young, at 26. And at exactly 20 years later, I remember looking at Times Square, the iconic Times Square, and saying, wow, it was overwhelming for me. I told you Terence Lewis before New York and the Terence Lewis after New York were two different people. Culturally also, it influenced me a lot. The openness of New York, the vibe, everything, and then of course the billboards. Who can forget the billboards? And all around you, it's like the city that never sleeps. It's like Bombay 10x or 100x. And then 20 years later, cut to Circa. I see myself on the we had our live telecast on the screens on the billboards. And it was quite something. Like, I never thought I would be there, my name would be there. So thanks to you, thank you so much, firstly. And I think it was just amazing, because Diwali at Times Square, fortunately, is not only celebrated by Indians, but it was from people from Pakistan, from Asia, from Bangladesh, a lot of people, from Thailand. They all celebrate Diwali. Diwali is like a kind of, Asian, Pan-Asian festival. Yeah. So, unfortunately, my show, Dance India Dance, and many other shows that I judged was something that, people have seen as they were growing up, and it was a part of the American culture also for all the second generation, Indians who lived there. So yeah, it was quite overwhelming. I never thought I would get that kind of response too. And all thanks to you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. Terence, let me, मैं जब research कर रही थी dance के ऊपर, so I found a very nice one line that dance is a poem of which each movement is a word. How do you define dance in your own words?
See, let's put it this way. Everything dances in the universe. Okay? Every cell in your body is moving. Okay? you don't know it because it's so subtle. And then there is people who are gross in their dancing. You can see the movement. Even walking is a dance. Even moving your body to think, even doing this with your hands is in a certain way dance. It can become a dance if you know the artistry behind it, if you know the skill behind it. Okay, and especially in Kathak, so we always use the kalaiya, correct? So or in flamenco, for example, where you kind of you do the sevias.
Okay.
So dance is very difficult to define. I'd also say dance is almost it's almost akin to life. Everything dances, anything that moves, and even when you're still, there is some movement internally that's happening. So I think dance is everywhere. Okay, it's in the cosmos. It's a part of the mix of the matrix. And I think you just have to find your way of dancing in this matrix in a way that can resonate with you. I think dancing when I started dancing, for me, it was a way to be on stage. I loved the stage. It gave me an opportunity to be on stage. So, I became very addictive to stage because it was such a powerful place to be. And, because people were appreciating you and clapping for you. So when I grew up as a child, dance for me, meant different things, meant affirmation, love, acceptance, applause. Then later, as I started earning from dance, it became a way of financial independence. So it moved from being just applause to becoming, from between 16 to 27, 28, I would say, was a time where I used dance to make myself financially stable. So dancing was not just for applause, but also became a way of, getting financial independence. And through that also gave me a certain kind of a persona and a personality. So I'm very grateful for that. But I think when I discovered contemporary dance, I realized the beauty of what dance really means. And I met some amazing teachers who were teachers not for dance, but were teachers for life. Of course, they were dance teachers, but they had another approach to dance. And they introduced me to the beautiful aspect of contemporary dance, which is very organic, very, very touching to your emotion, very personal. And I think that changed it for me. And they always said, what I had learned the American way was, always in either modern or in jazz. It's always like you're showing off. But in contemporary dance, you never put your chin up. You really are normal. You're very grounded. There is a certain kind of a beauty about it. And, that is something that for me really touched me. So I went from, wanting applause to going to, having financial independence to it being my way of fame. And then I realized, I need to dance just for myself, for me. And use the dance, use the music, use the beat, use it to physically, emotionally, intellectually, consume me. And that started happening much later in life. And I think that's the journey for everybody, because we start learning dance for various reasons. And then, there comes a point where you go a little bit more deeper and you have amazing teachers who take you on another path and they show you that what dance could actually be. And I'm happy that I met those kind of teachers, especially in the Impulse Dance Festival. And, I continue to, get inspired by certain people and how they move. It's really like, for me, they are not just dancers or performers, they're artists. And they're artists of another level, almost godlike. So that's what it is for me.
बहुत ही beautifully आपने describe किया in your own words.
Sorry, I've forgotten I've not spoken in Hindi. I need to speak in Hindi, sorry. I'll do that.
नहीं, हमारा objective है English. हम reach out करना चाहते हैं every age group. And there are a lot of second generation जो English में ज़्यादा comfortable हैं और काफी लोग हैं जो हिंदी में ज़्यादा comfortable हैं. So हमारा objective है to reach out to each and every age group. तो मेरा जो next question है वो आपसे है कि आप train jazz, ballet, Indian folk, contemporary, non-classical dance forms, many other dance forms में आप trained हैं, but these are some dance forms हैं जो इनमें क्या similarities और differences हैं?
Well, to be very honest, from classical to modern and contemporary, they are all basically offshoots of classical. So if you study the history of classical dance going into modern, into new, into postmodern and into contemporary, you realize, in the span of 100 years, they all came from ballet. Ballet was the base, okay, classical. And from there, it became, modern. And from there, it became postmodern. Martha Graham was one of the, Ruth St. Denis Schoen and Martha Graham were the few people, pioneers in modern dance in US, in America. America has bigger modern dance, actually. And then contemporary became a big one for the ones in Europe. Europe was a center for contemporary dance. So all of them have come from the root of ballet. Talking about Indian folk, well, that is not classical. It is basically more cultural. It is more social, cultural performances and dance. So they're very different. So cultural dances and folk dances, they're very, how can I say, they're very folky. They're very into the earth, again, into the soil. And, it's meant for not the classes, but the masses. That's why it's folk dance. Folk dance is for anybody, any folk. But classical dance is meant for people who have the talent and the discipline to take it upon themselves to learn this as a craft and an art. So they're very different from each other with their approach and their history and their anthropological and cultural context. But अगर आप देखा जाए कि बहुत सारे dance forms, at the end of the day, it's all about musicality, the history of dance and the origin of that dance form, to understand why that art form represents a certain shape, a certain form, a certain kind of a quality of movement and a feel and energy. So it has got some similarities and some not.
How can one become a better dancer? कैसे हम better dancers बन सकते हैं? क्योंकि बाहर तो हम जा नहीं सकते. And you have a in academy in India.
Yeah.
And now technology, everything is technology. This COVID-19
Right.
has changed the entire, what I would say, that lifestyle of people. तो कुछ आपका near future में करने का कुछ इरादा है, so we can be a better dancer?
ये ABCD है, anybody can dance.
हाँ.
Okay, तो ये मैंने coin किया था, I think 12 साल पहले, okay, 10 years ago actually. और फिर रेमो सर ने उनकी उसी फिल्म टाइटल को लेकर मेरा टाइटल लेकर उसने फिल्म बनाई है. He liked the title so much. ABCD, anybody can dance, and that's true. कोई भी नाच सकता है. इसलिए coming back to my point is that I could not open my branches and franchises simply because I was focused on my company here. But with this lockdown situation and with the quarantine and everything else that's happening around us, I realized that the only way forward, it's forcing us to kind of use technology. And in a way, what was long pending, I'm doing right now. So अभी हाल ही में हम लोग ने 1 तारीख को May 1st को हम लोग ने 22 साल कंप्लीट किए of teaching. और इसी को मनाने के लिए, खुशियां बांटने के लिए, we had a 24-hour live class non-stop with my instructors. I have a team of just 9 instructors. So all 9 instructors went back to back, teaching different style from Afro jazz, contempt, hip hop, Bollywood, and even Bollywood fitness. So we had an amazing 24-hour non-stop, and with this success we have moved on. A lot of people said this is lovely. The instructors were very power-packed, they were very positive, full of energy. They were on Instagram and on Facebook. On Facebook it's very easy to find me, just like Terence Lewis with a blue tick mark, because there are many fake IDs, and you can just be a part of our our fan page, because there is where our instructors are taking the classes. And on Instagram हम लोग Terence Lewis dance के नाम पे जाने जाते हैं, Terence Lewis dance. Okay, तो वहां से Instagram या Facebook आपका choice है, you can just enroll. 18 तारीख से हम एक बहुत बड़ा program announce कर रहे हैं, which is going to be basically exclusive for only those who are members, and it's a very small fee, and you get 5 days classes, morning to evening, with any style. You can pick up Bollywood, you can pick up hip hop, you can pick up contemporary Afro jazz, and there's also something called dancercise, which is like a Bollywood dance exercise for those housewives who just want to learn dance for fun. So we've got 5 styles, and morning and evening again. Okay, there are slots. It's a private group, so not everybody cannot join in. So you have to enroll for it, and it's going to be starting on the 18th of this month, and it's going to be a 5-day dance camp adda, which is all-day dance access. So if you can't access the class in the morning, the live class, you'll get it in the evening, the same class, and it's 5 days. And in the 6th day, by the 5th day, you learn a choreography. You do an actual dance class, like it's a workout. It's a warm-up, workout, fun dance, and then a choreography also, which is going to be like a 5-day a thread, which will seamlessly come together, and then you have one full chunk of a full song. So like a regular, dance camp that used to happen, on ground is going to happen online. And we are so excited because we're also going to make tutorials. So हमारे tutorials भी होंगे. So that private group on Instagram and Facebook in that particular style will also get a tutorial plus warm up. Plus we have a nutrition and dietitian on board who will also be, talking about what foods to eat, what not to eat, what to do, what not to do. We also have a doctor on board who will also kind of tell us, what the best posture to have while you're in the house, while watching TV, the phone. What exercises can you do just because, you're watching something too often, either that's your phone screen or TV, or you are just, sitting and your posture is compromised. So we're going to kind of try and reach out to, housewives, young people, very children, talented people, not so talented people. We want to make sure that when people come to our programs, they are empowered. They feel, yes, we did it, and that's the feeling I want to get from everybody. ABCD. Anybody can dance, and everybody should dance. And you get live teachers live teaching you, apart from the tutorial also, which you can always access in case you missed a class or whatever. So it's like a steal.
I see, Terence, this reminds me of one thing. Since my childhood, जब से मैं छोटी थी, when weddings या parties में यहाँ भी जब हम जाते हैं, कुछ drinks लेने के बाद नागिन डांस आदमी लोग जरूर करते हैं. तो हाँ, तो इंटरनेशनल है हम देसियों का नागिन डांस, राइट? तो कुछ मूव्स, कुछ नागिन डांस के भी कुछ बेटर आप जरूर सिखाएं.
जरूर, हम आपको नागिन से सपेरा बना सकते हैं, जहाँ पे आप नचवा सकते हैं किसी को. वैसा वाला डांस सिखाएंगे आपको. और होपफुली हम नागिन से आदमी वाला डांस कर पाएंगे, तो वो भी है. तो वो हम सिखाएंगे आपको जरूर. बट शुक्र है कि आप नागिन डांस तो करते हैं, तो somehow you're moving and moving like a snake is very nice. अगर वो लचक बॉडी में ऑलरेडी है, तो फिर वो लचक को किस तरीके से उसको आड़ा टेढ़ा मोड़ के डांस करवाना है, वो हम पर छोड़ दीजिए.
डॉक्टर टेरेंस लुइस को इजीली जाने नहीं देंगे. हम उनके साथ एक और शो लेकर आ रहे हैं. In that show, Dr. Terence Lewis as a motivation speaker and the judge of dance reality shows. Terence, thank you so much for being on this show, and I'm looking forward to having you again.